Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna have a first look at the brand new 2020 model from BMC, their new gravel bike, the Unrestricted 011. So this is their top of the line gravel plus bike. This thing can pretty much go over any road. And we're gonna take a quick look at the bike itself and then go out for a little test ride and go over my impressions of the bike. So today is my first day actually going for a ride on the bike. Before we go on the ride though, let's take a quick look. So the frame itself incorporates some of the technology from the mountain bikes. You can see we've got the micro travel section here. And component wise, this thing is spec'd out with Sram Red. The entire Unrestricted line is single up front, so single up front and then 12 speed in the back. The 011 model is also decked out with some deep dish wheels, and the stock tire on these are actually 42, so those are some monster tires on here. And on today's test ride, we're gonna be going over some really awesome gravel road riding here in Montecani, Italy. Some other unique things about the bike, so the sizing is a bit different than your standard road sizing. So we've got SML sizing rather than 56, 54, and 51. So I went with a size large. I'm 183 centimeters. We've got a WTB saddle on here. And in the center of the frame, we've actually got bottle bolts here, and we've also got some top bolts for you to mount things here. And actually down on the bottom part of the bike, we've also got another section to mount. So we've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections that we can mount different items for, like bike packing and stuff like that. We've also got our ICS Aero stem mount here, so everything is internal, all the cables are routed inside. We've also got the nice extender here to the stem for your Garmin mount, your GoPro mount. You can get an adapter to do both. You can put your lights there, whatever you want. We've got some nice outward facing handlebars here, combined with the beautiful SRAM Red levers. So the right shifter will shift you into a harder gear, and the left shifter will shift you down into an easier gear because this is just a single up front. And moving to the front of the bike, we've got this beautiful fork, and especially I like this piece at the end. So this is kind of like a fork plug, and it protects it, so if you have to take the wheel off, you can just drop this down on the ground. You don't have to worry about any damage to the paint or to the fork itself here. The other unique thing that you'll notice about this bike is there's very little BMC branding on here. So most BMC bikes, they've got like the big BMC logo here, but on this bike, they've only got it in a few subtle places. So in the front, there's not even any marks here. We've got the subtle BMC in the front in this section. We've got the Unrestricted here, or the URS for short, the URS. That's their short code name for this bike. Another cool little design is their logo for the URS, and they've got a cool t-shirt sample for that as well. That's here on the back. So overall, a nice, subtle, clean design bike. And on the left side of the bike as well, we've also got the different URS logo on here. That's not on the right side. And on the left side of the fork, we can see we've got a different color than we've got on this other side. We got the blue on here. So the entire range is kind of like that. They've got the one sort of unique color on the right side of the fork. And you can see we've got our through axle section here and our SRAM Red brakes. Man, those things look super minimal, super light. All right, guys, time to get started with the test ride of the brand new BMC Unrestricted gravel bike. Starting off our ride in this gorgeous area here, and we've got a large group of people.
Okay, looks like the gravel riders have met.
Is this your first time on a gravel bike?
Yeah.
You missed your mountain bike chance earlier. This is Eating. She's a super famous Korean model.
Wow.
So we gotta start today's ride. Is it a 7?
Yeah, 7.
Nice. You do some video, right, on Instagram?
Oh yeah, I can see.
Yeah. You always do this pose.
Oh, well, that was many poses.
So the loop we're doing today is about 28 kilometers, a mix of some road, some gravel, mix of everything. This is actually my first time using a road kind of bike, drop bars with these electric shifters. So actually you tap the right side to go into a harder gear, and then you tap the left side to go down, and it's all shifting the rear derailleur. So since today's ride's pretty long, I'm not gonna film the whole thing, but try and film some of the highlights. Beautiful riding here in Italy. And this bike's got a pretty interesting feel so far. So the way they designed it is there's a longer wheelbase, but shorter stem. So it definitely handles way different than a normal road bike or different style gravel bike. The other thing I like is these sort of swooping out dropper bars. So really comfortable. I use these a lot in my cyclocross races, so definitely prefer these kinds of bars for this kind of riding. I'm from Michigan, but I live in Japan. You?
Irish, but I live in Spain.
Here we go, starting the gravel section. What this bike was meant for. And I think we're gonna be racing along this stretch a little bit. So I gotta make my way up. Oh, this is awesome. We don't really get gravel roads like this in Japan. Man, this thing flies. Holy sh... Man, it is really hot. I think it's about 38 Celsius right now. Whew. Cooked. Man, this is so much fun. I wish we had these kinds of roads in Japan. It is hot.
Oh my God.
Holy crap, it's hot. How was your first experience on a gravel road?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So exciting.
Yeah? Yeah, do YouTube. Yeah, two-wheel cruise. Oh, you're in your road pedals.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever do any gravel riding in Korea? First time? Yeah, we don't have any gravel road in Japan.
Oh.
It's all nice pavement.
Oh yeah.
Probably same in Korea, right?
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, every road is nice. But my hometown in America,
Yeah.
every road is like this.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Where from there?
from Michigan, near Canada.
Oh yeah. Wow. You're so fast.
No, you're fast. So I'm actually a really big fan of gravel riding. My hometown, some of you guys know, I'm from Detroit, Michigan area, so we've got a lot of dirt roads in that area. I grew up on dirt roads, and actually, when I was racing pretty competitively, my first professional win in the US from a Pro 1-2 race, not like a super high pro level race, but like a local state level pro race. My first win was on a half road, half gravel road race, and yeah, I just love riding in gravel. Feels great to be out on some gravel roads today, and like I mentioned earlier, I don't really have much opportunity to do this in Japan because every road is just paved, super nice, high quality, which of course there's good and bad, because who's gonna complain that you got really nice paved roads? But I really do miss the gravel roads sometimes. Gorgeous riding here, geez, but man, that sun is beating down, 38 degrees Celsius. Back on the gravel. Some nice hay bales over here. Off-road style. I've been really impressed with how comfortable this bike feels. Like, we're obviously riding on some really rough sections, and yeah, just these wider tires. Like, I've never ridden anything this wide on a drop handlebar setup before. Like, it feels like I'm on a mountain bike, but with road bike geometry. It's crazy. When we were sprinting through the gravel section earlier, I just felt like I was floating over everything. Speed bumps. These are another thing that's pretty rare in Japan. And another interesting thing, riding here in Italy, they've got those garbage bins everywhere. And there's no public garbage bins really in Japan other than convenience stores. Lots of interesting little differences I'm noticing. Up until now, I haven't had too much experience with the 1x drive chain, and one thing I was worried about was just the range of gears. Is it going to be enough? And this thing's doing pretty solid on the downhills, on the uphills. Haven't had a lack of gear or anything. And I'm starting to get a bit spoiled with the electronic shifters. I think it's going to be hard to adapt back to what I have back home. My bikes back home are still on 10 speed. All right guys, we're coming to a close of today's test ride video. I've had an amazing time riding this bad boy on the gravel roads here in Italy, and to be honest, I'm sad to say goodbye to this guy. So some final impressions before we go. The handling on this guy, super smooth, and just the wide tires, everything just feels like you're floating over everything. I was just flying over those gravel sections, and if you're in a place with a large gravel road selection, like in my hometown in Michigan or here in Europe, definitely highly recommend this bike. Great adventure bike. And we'll be doing a couple more review videos in my time here in Italy. I'll link the playlist up here, so feel free to check it out. What were your final impressions? You're gonna convert to gravel riding?
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah?
Very nice.
No more time machine? If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time here on Two Wheel Cruise. As always, thanks for watching. Later guys.